Hey guys, it's Masatonic. I'm a bilingual harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。バイリンガルハルキストのマサトニックです。So, in this video, I'd like to show the Haruki Murakami's virtual tour of Norwegian wood. So, as you might know, Norwegian wood is one of his very famous and popular novel, and I really like this novel as well. And in this video, with using Google Map and Google Street View, I'd like to show you some station or some places featured in this novel. Actually, in some particular scene, protagonist Mr. Watanabe and his girlfriend Naoko had met with each other and take a stroke or take a walk in the center of Tokyo. I'd like to feature that scene and show you the exact image or exact location of each places in this video. Right, so and in this video consists of the virtual tour part, and the latter part of video consists of the bilingual reading of Norwegian, particularly in this scene. At first, I'd like to read in English, and after the same part, I'd like to read in Japanese, so which means bilingual reading. So please enjoy it. Okay, let's get started. So this is a scene of this is a map of the center of Tokyo. And the scene I'd like to introduce in this video. Now, let me read about that part of it. So this is chapter 2, and Mr. Watanabe and Naoko had met with each other in the Chuo line. Chuo line is a commuter train like this in the very center of Tokyo. And they had met with each other since a few years. And so I'd like to quote this thing. This was no mere stroll for Naoko though. Judging from that walk, she turned right at Iidabashi, came out at the moat, crossed the intersection at Jinbocho, climbed the hill at Ochanomizu, and came out at Hongo. From there, she followed the trolley tracks to Komagome. It was a challenging route. By the time we reached the Komagome, the sun was sinking, and the day had become a soft spring evening. That theme. If you are not familiar with Tokyo's location, place name, or station's name, this scene is just a, how to say, mystery, or just an unknown name of it. But as a Japanese and who lived in Tokyo and for about 20 years, some phrases are very familiar to me. Actually, when I was a college student, my university is located very near here. So, and then when I first time read Norwegian wood, it was in my college days. So I thought, oh, this is just a neighborhood of my college. So these places are very familiar to me. And also still, it's a kind of surprising because some part is very familiar to me. And so intuitively, I knew the whole, how to say, whole distance of this stroll. And then as Haruki Murakami described in this thing, it's not just an ordinary stroll. It took a lot of hours. Actually, I did this stroll as a, how to say, it's like a pilgrimage, just walk the same route as Watanabe and Naoko. A few years ago, I did, and then I felt what an amazing distance they walked. Right, I guess it's about 8 to 10 kilometers. It took almost half day, but still, it's a very nice trip. So, and then in this video, I'd like to show you each exact places. So at first, they get off the train here, Yotsuya station, and like this. This is a photo of Yotsuya station. It's a commuter train. It's a Chuo line. It's called Chuo line. Chuo means in Japanese center. So it's a central train. It's a very, it runs very center of Tokyo. So the final destination is the Tokyo station. So it's something like that train. And they get off here, Yotsuya station. And so let me check street view. So this is a Yotsuya station. Yotsuya means Fall Valley. Fall Valley. So maybe it must be old days, maybe just for Bali, actually, literally, I guess. And then actually in Japanese cities or places name, something like that is quite common. But anyway, so over there, there's a Shinjuku area over there. And here's some university. It's not my university though, but Sophia University. It's a Christian university. And over there, Imperial Palace, maybe from Yotsuya Station to Imperial Palace, it took maybe, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes. So not far from Yotsuya Station to get Imperial Palace. And then exact part of this side of Imperial Palace called Hanzomon. And then near the Hanzomon, there is some radio studios there, which is named Tokyo FM broadcast studio. And as you might know, currently Haruki Murakami have his own radio program, and that radio which is called Murakami Radio, and then that program has shooted at the Hanzomon studio. So this is a place, it's a kind of center of Tokyo. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the main, this virtual tour. So Watanabe and Naoko get off the train from Yotsuya station. Maybe around here, they get off to the station. And there, here's something embankment. And there, over there, train was run. It's like how to say, it's like a valley, exactly. And they take a walk, maybe from starting to here. And then a few years ago, like I said, I did the same stroke. And then this is a picture. It's quite different from this street view photo, but maybe season is different and slightly the location is different, but basically almost same spot. And from here, Watanabe and Naoko started to take a walk, something like this. It's really nice walking place. So many people walk like this. Okay, right. And they get back to the Google map. And from here, they walk toward this area. So next station, Ichigaya Station. And here's located some university, which is named Hosei University. Actually, this is my college. It's kind of very familiar with me, right? And then they keep on walking to here. It's very hard to tell. Here's Iidabashi Station. And also this is exit here, Iidabashi Station. And yeah, this is the Iidabashi Station exit. And then in this novel, this particular name is featured. She turned right at Iidabashi. Iidabashi is hard to translate, but it's something like a bridge. Maybe this one, I don't know. But anyway, so turned right means, so they walk from here to here. Here's Iidabashi, and then they turned right means turn here. It turned right. So here, turned right means over there it's right. And like this, they walk this line, and then they keep on walking this street. It's called Waseda Avenue, and then this Waseda Avenue led to some destination, and the destination is, it's very kind of interesting. Here, the road Waseda Avenue leads them to this. It's maybe it's hard to tell. This is a Nippon Budokan, and the Nippon Budokan is just located just next to Imperial Palace. So this is a place. It's really center of Tokyo like this. It's a Nippon. It's a Nippon Budokan, and it's very famous for the live concert hall. Say a few years ago, in I don't know 60s or 70s, the Beatles coming here and they held a concert at there here Nippon Budokan. And this is it's a center of Tokyo, and then Imperial Palace is there. So basically, Nippon Budokan is almost, how to say, same or close to the Imperial Palace. So taking this road, Waseda Avenue from Iidabashi to here means go straight to Imperial Palace, also meaning. And then also, here's a Budokan. It's a Yasukuni Shrine. It's a kind of very famous and very large shrine of Japan, Yasukuni Shrine. So taking this route means Imperial Palace and then Yasukuni Shrine, Watanabe and Naoko should have looked at these, how to say, these panorama or these scene, but never mentioned about in this novel, particularly in Norwegian. So, but as from my understanding, novel is a narrative which try to convey some meaning without write it precisely or without write directly. So how to say, the absence of writing means particularly direct to some point is hard to convey. So if the author did not write about Imperial Palace and Yasukuni Shrine, which doesn't mean he or she did not want to write about it. Or on the other hand, maybe he might have wanted to write about something without writing it. So this is one way of perception. Of course, it's not one straight answer of perception. Because there are so many perception of novel as well, and then there is no single answer. But still, without writing it to convey some meaning is one technique of literature. So Watanabe and Naoko should have watched this scene, but without mentioning it, might mean something. Right. Anyway, get back to this story, and then right in the original text, there's she turned right at Iidabashi, came out of the moat. Moat is not directly mentioned about Budokan or Imperial Palace, but this is moat here. So without saying directly Imperial Palace, just moat means here. And okay, and then cross the intersection at Jinbocho. Jinbocho is here. It's from here to here. Just walk, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 minutes just by foot. So it's very near. And then Jinbocho, if you familiar with Japanese this kind of town's name, the Jinbocho is very famous for old bookstore. It's like in London's maybe near, I don't know where, the central London. There's also some famous old bookstore street. It's something like that in Japan, in Tokyo. So Jinbocho means for literary guys like me, which means it's a book of, a town of books, especially old book. But anyway, so they crossed intersection of Jinbocho, and then here is right intersection of Jinbocho. This something like this image. So if you have experience to visit a Jinbocho to just go around a old bookstore, maybe this how to say scene is very familiar with you. And if you have interested in the future, you want to visit Japan and visit Tokyo and visit this central old bookstore, maybe this is a place. All right, and after that, cross the intersection of the Jinbocho, climbed the hill at Ochanomizu. Ochanomizu is a quite unique name here. Here's the Ochanomizu station, and cross the intersection, and so maybe this street or this street leads to Ochanomizu, and then both street has a kind of slope. So this is a kind of hill area, much more how to say high area. So, and then my understanding is maybe they took this route, this Hongo Dori or Hongo Avenue. Maybe from this street views photo image, it's hard to tell. This is a hill, this is a slope, but it is actually, it's here. And if you walk it, maybe you can understand. It's a quite how to say, it's a little bit difficult, not difficult, but not easy to walk because this is here. And then like this, they keep on walking, perhaps this road, and Also, this is not how to say stated in the Norwegian wood, but here's a cathedral is there. It's a Orthodox church, the Orthodox Christian cathedral, which is named in, yeah, this is it. A Holy Resurrection Cathedral in Japanese, Tokyo Fukatsu Daiseido. It's a very quite monumental spot. It's so in a way, it's very nice stroll, how to say, route, I guess. And from over there, another very monumental shrine, Yushima Seido, and also Kanda Shrine, which is named another name, Kanda Myojin, is a very famous Japanese shrine as well. So this is such a, how to say, in a way, some kind of holy places. So maybe they should have took this route. Okay, anyway, and then so get back to the original sentence. So climbs here at Ochanomizu and came out at Hongo. Hongo is a here. This area called Hongo, and the station is Hongo Sanchome. Is so Sanchome means a kind of Third Avenue or District number 3 is a Japanese name. And in Hongo there is a located at Tokyo University. The University of Tokyo is located in Hongo. So if author mentioned about Hongo, especially Haruki Murakami mentioned about Hongo, means, of course, which not directly, but which pointed at the University of Tokyo, especially the Norwegian wood, the stages 1960s, latter of 1960s. This in this age, and the University of Tokyo is a very stage of some political movement of the university students. So in this Norwegian, slightly mentioned about such students' activities, but Watanabe and Naoko and this another character Midori or say Mr. Nagasawa, nobody specifically featured the political movement. The a majority of students of university participated in their political movement. And then Tokyo University is exactly the, how to say, main part or some, it's a stage, a center of their activity. So you just take a walk in front of Tokyo University, but without mentioning it, I think also means something like that. And Watanabe and Naoko should have watched Tokyo University, but still without any mention about it. So which means something, I guess. All right. And here's a Hongo and the Tokyo University. And go back to the line and okay, it came out at Hongo. From there means Hongo. She followed the trolley tracks to Komagome. Actually, trolley is already disappeared in this modern era. But here used to be trolley tracks, I guess. And then, but the thing is, from University of Tokyo to Komagome is quite a long distance. Yeah, University of Tokyo, or in other words, Hongo. But Komagome is it's hard to tell, right? Okay, Komagome, yeah, here, Komagome, right? So go back to here. From Hongo to Komagome, like this distance. As I said, it's a quite a long distance, but in this original text, just say, from Hongo, she followed the trolley tracks to Komagome. Just a very simple one sentence, but which means this quite a long distance. So this, how to say, whole stroll route means something Naoko's characteristics, it says. All right, so let's review the full route of it. The starting point is here, Yotsuya station here, right? And then they get they get off train at here, and then they walk to the Iidabashi here, and they turn left and step into Mode and turn right and cross the intersection of Jinbocho and then climb the Ochanomizu here and go to the Hongo, I mean Tokyo University. And after that, go straight to Komagome. Wow, such a distance from here to here. This is quite a long distance, isn't it? And but as a how to say a route of stroke, this is quite nice. There is some nice spot there, especially the one my recommendation is here from Yotsuya Station to Idaba Station. There is embankment, so it's really nice walking route. Especially the season of spring, the cherry blossom season, so-called Ohanami party. In Japan, it's a very quite famous for it. There are so many beautiful cherry blossom is there in bloom at the season, which means so many people gather. So these days, people should try to avoid such a crowded places, but still it's very beautiful places, I guess. I highly recommend it. And also, and the final spot near the Komagome station, here's a Rikugien Gardens. It's like a very Japanese style, very beautiful garden. And also this particular place is not mentioned in this novel, but maybe Watanabe and Naoko just goes through it. Still, it's to say, it's very beautiful garden, isn't it? It's very Japanese style. So if you are lived in out of Japan and in the future, you'd like to you would like to visit here in Japan. This is a place maybe you should have visited because this is very beautiful and very Japanese like. And also Watanabe and Naoko might be walked there in Norwegian, right? So this is a virtual tour of Norwegian Wood. And of course, in Norwegian, there is many other places which Watanabe and Naoko and Midori and Nagasawa visited. And there is really existed some, say, jazz cafe, jazz bar, or something like that. So, like this, like me, you can enjoy it, right? Okay, so let's step onto the another content of this video. Like I said, I'm a bilingual artist, or at least I'd like to be. And so I'd like to bilingual reading of Norwegian Wood in this particular scene. At first, like I said, I read aloud in English. And after the same part, I read aloud in Japanese. So if you are not familiar with Japanese itself, just please enjoy the sound of it. Okay, the English one I'd like to read. We had not planned to meet, but had run into each other on the Chuo commuter line. She had decided to see a movie by herself, and I was headed for the bookstores in Kanda. Nothing urgent in either case. She had suggested that we leave the train, which we happened to do in Yotsuya, where the green embankment makes for a nice place to walk by the old castle moat. Altogether, we had nothing in particular to talk about, and I wasn't quite sure why Naoko had suggested we get off the train. We had never really had much to say to each other. Naoko started walking the minutes we hit the street and I hurried after her, keeping a yard behind. I could have crossed the distance between us, but something held me back. I walked with my eyes on her shoulders and her straight black hair. She wore a big brown beret, and when she turned her head, I caught a glimpse of her small white ear. Now and then, she would look back and say something. Sometimes it would be a remark I might have responded to, and sometimes it would be something to which I had no way to reply. Other times, I simply couldn't hear what she was saying. She didn't seem to care one way or another. Once she had finished saying whatever she wanted to say, she'd face front again and keep on walking. Oh well, I told myself. It was a nice day for a stroll. This was no mere stroll for Naoko, though, judging from that walk, she turned right at Iidabashi, came out at the moat, crossed the intersection at Jinbocho, climbed the hill at the Ochanomizu, and came out at Hongo. From there, she followed the trolley tracks to Komagome. It was a challenging route. By the time we reached Komagome, the sun was sinking and the day had become a soft spring evening. All right. So, exact same part I'd like to read in Japanese. Okay. 我々は何かの目的があってここに来たわけではなかった。僕と直子は中央線の電車の中で偶然出会った。彼女は一人で映画でも見ようかと思って出てきたところで、僕は神田の本屋に行くところだった。別にどちらも大した用事があるわけではなかった。降りましょうよ、と直子が言って、我々は電車を降りた。それがたまたま四谷駅だったというだけのことなのだ。もっとも、二人きりになってしまうと、我々には話し合うべき話題なんて特に何もなかった。直子がどうして電車を降りようと言い出したのか、僕には全然理解できなかった。話題なんてそもそもの最初からないのだ。駅の外に出ると、彼女はどこに行くとも言わずにさっさと歩き始めた。僕は仕方なくその後を追うように歩いた。直子と僕の間には常に1メートルほどの距離が空いていた。もちろんその距離を詰めようと思えば詰めることもできたのだが、なんとなく気遅れがしてそれができなかった。僕は直子の1メートルほど後ろを彼女の背中とまっすぐな黒い髪を見ながら歩いた。彼女は茶色の大きな髪留めをつけていて、横を向くと小さな白い耳が見えた。時々直子は後ろを振り向いて僕に話しかけた。うまく答えられることもあれば、どう答えればいいのか見当もつかないようなこともあった。何を言っているのか聞き取れないということもあった。しかし僕に聞こえても聞こえなくても、そんなことは彼女にはどちらでもいいみたいだった。直子は自分の言いたいことだけを言ってしまうと、また前を向いて歩き続けた。まあいいや、散歩にはいい日和だものな、と僕は思って諦めた。しかし、散歩というには直子の歩き方はいささか本格的すぎた。彼女は飯田橋で右に折れ、お堀端に出て、それから神保町の交差点を越えてお茶の水の坂を登り、そのまま本郷に抜けた。そして都電の線路に沿って駒込まで歩いた。ちょっとした道のりだ。駒込に着いた時には日はもう沈んでいた。穏やかな春の夕暮れだった。Okay. So, did you enjoy it? If you enjoy it, and please take a nice review. And if you really like it, I would be appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Right. So, それではまた。See you!